Hello again, everybody. Welcome once more to Powerline Weekly Video Ministry. This is Richard Ike, and we're on episode number 168. And the title of today's message is Esau and Jacob, Part 3. Esau and Jacob, Part 3. This should be the conclusion of the Esau and Jacob matter. Now, before I get into the message, as is my tradition, have an addendum. 3. Hopefully, they'll be short. Addendum number 1, 1A. This was inspired by a conversation I had someone earlier in the week. And it was mentioned that the two guys I had the conversation with, they had a bit of a concern with the practices, the Jewish practice in the synagogue, like separating the men and the women and things like that. And I thought about it, feeling like, it seemed like it was inequality. Like, no, from a woman's perspective, it will be inequality and stuff like that. And treating people, both genders equally and all that stuff. And I didn't comment on it that time. I was just saying, look, I noticed, things like that. Um, things that don't really bother me, but it seemed like this era we live in, this age we live in, bothers women. So I had some time to think about it, and then I realized, we always hear the saying that men don't understand women, and they made a big deal out of it, big fools. Men don't understand women, men don't understand women. But I realized women don't understand men either. Because if they do, they'll know that men are naturally built as predators. They have predatory instincts. Because a predator is a hunter. Men are hunters. There's a compulsion to hunt. The older man are more composed, mature, can contain themselves better, but they know the younger man. They've been young before. And the younger men have these raging hormones, the teenagers, raging hormones and stuff like that. But they haven't fully mastered how to handle themselves and stuff like that. Times when the parental compulsion, they can be in a situation that parental compulsion overwhelms them. And they do certain things later on, they regret it. They were just overwhelmed, they were overcome by situation. So the older men put barriers and boundaries around the younger men because the older men have been young before they understand these things. The younger men are thinking, no, the older men kind of like putting stumbling blocks for them, like, they don't understand. The older men, they know, they understand. They've been young before. Go do things and make mistakes that you regret the rest of your life or that kind of stuff. So they put boundaries. So there's a situation like that, like, the men they need to understand it's not about inequality. It's a more of a issue of vulnerability. Women are vulnerable to these predatory situations, so they're trying to prevent. The older men try to prevent scenarios from occurring that might, bring, issues or regrets later. It's not about oppression. It's about protection. Protecting the women. The older men know this, the preference of the young ones. It's really the young ones that look out for, mainly. Because they do things and they don't want like, so like waving meat in front of alligators or crocodiles, they will bite. The eagle, the hunter, the eagle is a hunter, is a predator bird. Predator birds have eyes in front because predators focus. The prey birds, they have eyes on the side because they have to look around to see what the predator might be coming from. They see from all sides, and they see from about all directions. So they have to be looking around to see where the predator is coming from. But the predator, the eagle, the hawk, the falcon, their eyes are in front. All they do is just focus. So, man, they are visually triggered. Why? It's a predatory instinct. Predators are visually triggered. They attract things that move. That's it. That's why men are triggered by what they see. If anything goes down, a girl gets pregnant, it's always the guy that gets the blame. Regardless of the fact that might be the woman that did the girl that did the seducing. Women are better seducers than men. For men, there's labor involved. Women, it's easy. Oh, yeah, you just smile the guy right away. Just say hello. That's it. The man is done. Finished, ready to go. But for the man, there's labor involved. The woman can just go and touch him, and he's finished. Ready to go. A man go and touch you and say, hey, why'd you touch me? Hey, harassment. That's scenario. So to avoid certain situations, they say, they're separate because these ones here, these are they have their predatory instincts on alert and fully charged. And these ones here, they don't understand what is happening. So the older men have been there. Say, no, I have to kick them. Because if you bring them, mix them up, things might happen. Like, So that's what that is. Anyway. And then number two, no, number, that's 1A. 1B. I've heard about this thing, Islam, where they combine Christianity and Islam. The late Jack Van Impe, oh man, I used to love watching that man show from way back when. I watched the video on him. One of the old guards, guys who had the real thing. And he was breaking down Islam, and he would know. I just, it was one of the strange things, like, who's coming up with these things. And it turns out that they're not actually combining Christianity and Islam. They're trying to convert Christians to Islam by making it look like it's a combination. And there are preachers, big church preachers who are leading this thing. These are these people who are secret societies and like Freemasonry and all this stuff. When you see organized scenarios like this, or part of the New World Order system, see the Pope going to make peace with Muslims, kiss Muslims' feet, or telling Christians to love Muslims, but don't tell Muslims to love Christians, all that stuff. And so the New World Order thing, New World Order preachers, highly respected people, they don't go sound good. Not sound, they're not sound in doctrine. So when Jack Van Impe was breaking this thing down, I was like, hey, there's an apostasy going on that I was oblivious to. And because Christians do not read the scriptures, they are subject to deception. No wonder, me, whenever I minister, I have to provoke people to go and read the scripture because Christian illiteracy is an all-time high. So I was in prayer before I started this message. Lord, minister to me. I was wondering about this and that. Well, what is this thing going on? Lord, just minister to me that the fruit is in decay. Fruits go through 3 cycles. They grow, they ripen, they decay. The fruit is in decay. What fruit? That's the body of Christ here in America. I said, that's decay. That's what we're looking at. That's decay. Fruit, it grows, the fruit grows, it will ripen, it will decay. That's decay. I tell Muslims when the Lord just settled this matter. I remember when it happened. I was at a revival event at the reception hall of a hotel, and I went to go. What did I go do? So I was coming back. Somebody asked me. Some elderly gentleman asked me. It looked like it was in his 60s or 70s. What was going on there? So I thought it was a Christian event. I found out it was a Muslim. It was a Middle Eastern. And he just started ragging on Christians and Christian this, oh, Christian this, Christian that, Christian that, Christian that. I couldn't even get a word in. It just completely showed me. To me, that was a bastard demolishing arguments. I was being crushed and battered. By the time it was done and sent me off, I felt like a child that he just spanked and turned around. Okay, now you can go. You've been spanked. I felt so defeated, so completely. I said, no, this guy just finished me. This Muslim man just demolished me. I didn't even stand a chance. I was an argument crusher, but this one had been crushed. I sat down, just feeling so defeated. And Lord just ministered to me. Go back and tell him you worship different gods. The thing hit me like a lightning bolt. Bye! I got up. My chest rose up. The air returned back to my spine. I went back. I saw him. Then I said, excuse me, sir. I've got to tell you. We worship different gods. The lightning bolt hit him too. The man changed. He lost his power. Now he was trying to make peace. His power was gone. Just gone talking now. He went from being just the demolisher. Now he felt demolished and trying to make peace and all that stuff. That's when the Lord gave me that revelation. So I don't argue with Muslims on any subject at all. Just I said, I received it from heaven. You worship different gods. I said, the Muslims that. And they, I can both strike them. We worship different gods. That's it. What God do I worship? What God do we Christians worship? The Lord Jesus Christ is the God of the Christians. And the story, after settled. We worship different gods. That's it. That's how I received it from God. That's how I received it from heaven. That's why most of them go, yeah, it is. We worship different gods. End the story. Go on my business. That's it. Now, that goal takes us to, and then the number 1C, and then I get to the message. When I was praying, the Lord showed me that what's happening. The food is in decay. God revealed to me that America cannot afford to lose God. Because we don't know how ingrained into America and the system that God is. One of those things where when you lose, that's when you realize its value. The things that we'll be enjoying that God has provided, blessings that He has provided, that we're not aware of. If God should leave, it will be sudden destruction for America. It's not, oh, God live and things just can't be. Why? Because God said to me that Satan has an incredible hatred for this nation, America. Satan keeps record. No other nation. There are two nations he hates the most, America and Israel. But America's hatred is special because his kingdom, the things that he has been doing on earth, the things that he has been trying, the havoc he has been trying to wreak on earth, America has been a major source of God and putting those things to destroying the works of his kingdom, the kingdom of darkness. America, he's trying to wreak havoc somewhere. That nation, America, God is going to use them to show up and mess up his action. Everything, the things he's been doing. America, 2 world wars, America ended. So the greatest moves that this nation, this world has seen, the greatest moves of the Christian moves came from America. The greatest moves, major moves, came from America. Satan keeps record. And he wants revenge for all the damage America has done to his kingdom. He keeps record, whenever it happened, he'll keep a record. So if God should leave America, it will be sudden destruction. Satan will come and do a quick work. That's what God showed me. That his hatred, the sitting hatred for America, because of the damage America has done to his kingdom. He doesn't forget, he kept records. This is what America did, how America's damaged, all the different moves, different things he said to America, destroyed it. America is the shepherd of this planet Earth. As long as America is standing, all the devil worshipping globalists, what they're trying to do, they cannot accomplish. That's why they're trying to take down America. So that's another thing. America standing in his way, standing in the devil's way. So if God should leave America, say, what's going to be, just things going down. No, it'll be quick, sudden destruction, all kind of stuff going wrong. Because it's the devil's chance to avenge everything that America's trying to do damage to his kingdom. All the plans of the devil that they had for avenge for World War I, World War II, everything just gone sudden destruction. How I know God is merciful? Whenever I look at Donald Trump, I said, yes, God is. You don't have an argument with me on God's mercy. I said, Donald Trump. I said, that's what saved. If Hillary Clinton was president, America would have been finished by now. If Hillary Clinton was president, by this time, 3 years in, America would be done. That's what had finished completely, wiped out. So whenever I look at Donald Trump, I say, God is merciful. He was in case of emergency, break glass. Break glass and get that. So that was Donald Trump. In case of emergency, broke glass, pulled out Donald Trump. That's why they are fighting him. Look at this fake impeachment, nonsense impeachment, all that stuff. Desperate. The powers of darkness cannot handle that. It has happened again. America struck their kingdom again. The kingdom of hell. America struck again. That's what Donald Trump symbolized. That again, Satan has been, his plan has been wrecked and struck and destroyed. Democrat politicians operating the Antichrist spirit. I think God revealed to me that's why they're all lawless. They just do whatever they want. It's the spirit of the man of lawlessness, the spirit of the Antichrist. That's what's happening. It's a time when true believers, I'm glad that God doesn't need the great multitude, just through a faithful few can hold down a nation in the spiritual realm. And once you have the conquest spiritual realm to manifest in the natural. The faithful few. And just that's one thing I'm happy about with this God. Doesn't need great multitudes, just need faithful few. It's not with Lord Jesus with 12 men started a worldwide revolution. Now, let me get into the message. Okay. The last message stopped at where Jacob was now in the process of collecting Esau's blessing. Now, we will now see the difference between the blessing that Jacob received and the blessing that Isaac mustered up to give Esau. Because on the surface, it looked like it was the same. Like, it looked like he didn't miss anything. But what had to open my eye to understand the spiritual dynamic of what was going on, I even had to go and look at the history of Israel and Edom, the neighboring hostile, unfriendly town, which were the descendants of Esau. Now we know why they were hostile. Because all the things that God was doing for Israel, it was supposed to be for the Edomites. The Edomites were descendants of Esau. This is where it happened, where Israel took the heritage through Jacob. Jacob going to collect Esau's blessing from Isaac. That's why Esau raised, cried, because he knew what was happening. It had to do with not just him, future generations. All the miracle God was performing for the children of Israel. The Edomites will be thinking themselves, that was supposed to be for us. Because I understand that Esau, that was his rightful heritage. It was stolen from us by his twin brother Jacob. As God was with Israel to them, that's how God should have been with them. Because it was their own heritage, their rights, birthright, and the blessing that belonged to the firstborn. And they watching the God that belonged to them over there in that nation. Doing all the wonders that should have been done for them. The thing runs deep. So, let me start from Genesis chapter 27. Start from verse 26. And his father Isaac said unto him, come near and kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him. And he smelled the smell of his raiment and blessed him and said, see, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field which the Lord had blessed. So that was the final test. The first test, he felt his hand. The second test, which was the main test, the food. He ate the food. It tasted like it was food. It felt like he saw it there. The voices threw me off. Sound like Jacob. Felt like he saw. Tasted the food. If it tasted like maybe Jacob knew how to cook, maybe he didn't know how to cook, but they cooked different because Isaac loved Esau's meal. So maybe Jacob didn't cook, or if he did cook, he didn't cook as good as Esau. So if he had tasted like Jacob's meal, he would have thrown that bowl on him and attacked him or something like that for trying to deceive him. But he tasted it. It tasted like Jacob's, like Esau's meal. Why? Because the mother, whom obviously Esau learned how to cook from, was the one that prepared it. And she was a much better cook than Esau because she cooked goat meat and it tasted like deer meat, venison, which he asked for, which was what the customer ordered. Like this is the restaurant. He ordered venison on the menu. Goat meat was brought for him instead. But it was so cooked so well that he masqueraded as deer meat. He could not tell the difference. So that means the superior cook had been on the scene. Either that or was divine intervention. God must have messed with Isaac's taste buds, his palate, that it made him think it was deer. Because he was blind, so his other senses are heightened. His sense of taste is heightened. God must have intervened in the situation. Either that or give the credit to Rebecca for being the superior cook. So they passed the first test, passed the second test, now this was the third test. They hugged him and he smelled his garments and said, because of his senses, the woman knows his senses are heightened. So the sense of, he didn't have sense of sight, but had sense of taste. So it captured him with the taste, had sense of feeling, captured him with the good hair, had sense of smell, captured him with Esau's garments. Because all his senses are heightened. When you lose one sense, all the other ones get heightened. So the woman, the wife, knows the husband. He's lost his sense of sight, but all his other senses are heightened. That's why I said she went and put goat's hair on his hand, because his sense of feeling are heightened. Prepared the soup so good that he couldn't tell the difference between goat meat and deer meat. And then put on the garment, because the sense of smell are heightened. So he can smell, he can touch, he can do everything, he can taste all the other senses except for his sight. If his eyes are open and they are seeing Jacob, the old man would have attacked. So Jacob was in a precarious situation and he knew it. But he and there goes that. Point finger at mother. No, he might not, he won't escape. So now, another thing. Since when Jacob went to Laban's, his uncle's house, and then Laban pulled off the same stumps that Rebecca pulled off. I said, maybe this is something that the ancient Syrians practiced, the strategy of deception. Because in this scenario, Rebecca had Jacob masquerade as Esau. Talk about sowing what you reap, reaping what you sow. When Jacob went to house of Laban, he wanted to marry Rachel. On the day of his wedding, Laban pulled off the same stunt that his mother pulled off concerning him. Had Leah disguised herself as though she was Rachel. He didn't find her till morning. I said, the mother did it and the uncle did it. I said, it must be either a family trait, a family, something that a family skill of deception, or it's their town or the people. They said the Syrians. Maybe something that they practice. They call stone practice. Maybe that's why he didn't enter Rebecca's house, because it's something that they've been practicing where she comes from. Obviously, because Laban did the same thing that Rebecca did. Had one person masquerade like another. Had Jacob masquerade like Esau. He went to his uncle's house. The uncle did the same thing. Had Leah masquerade like she was Rachel. I said, this must be something that the Syrians, ancient Syrians, practice, or that their town, or their village, or their clan, whatever. But it's a familiar vice, skill of deception. Then, verse 28. Therefore, God give thee of the dew of heaven, and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Blessed be everyone that curseth thee, blessed be he that blesseth thee. Blessed be Lord over their brethren. Oh, now remember that the neighboring towns who had similar ancestry to Isaac, go all the way down to like the Midianites. They were descendant of the bastard son of Lot and things of that nature. So they had different towns that be formed by one of the ancestors or the other branching out and then forming his own clan, all that stuff. So it's all over their brethren. What brethren is he talking about? Esau and Jacob. And then there's Ishmael, Ishmael and his children. He just had 12 children. Before Jacob had his 12 children, Ishmael had 12 children. So those are the brethren. Say, be Lord over your brethren. What brethren say, descendants. Yeah, they have descendants scattered everywhere, and the Ishmaelites and all that stuff. And it came to pass, soon as Jacob and said, cursed be everyone that cursed thee, and blessed be he that blessed thee. First time we heard that was with Abraham. So it's connecting him now to Abraham. It's a blessing that flowed from Abraham through Isaac, now flowing onto Jacob. And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an ending of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac, his father, that Esau, his brother, came in from hunting. So Lord timed it, delayed Esau long enough for all this business to be handled, the cooking and all that stuff. And as soon as it was done, then Esau arrived. Because Esau had seen Jacob in the middle of all that. Esau might have, out of anger, might have killed him right there before the father. And he also had made savory meat and brought it unto his father and said unto his father, let my father arise and eat of his son's venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac his father said unto him, who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn, Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly, and said, Who? Where is he that hath taken venison and brought it to me? And I have eaten of all before thou camest, and I have blessed him, yea, and he shall be blessed. When he said, who is that? Because he said the voice of Jacob, but the hand of Esau. So in his mind, said, okay, something must have happened to Esau's voice. When Esau now shows up with his own original voice, and then he says, about to me, who is that? He didn't say, Isaac didn't realize it was Jacob because he didn't feel like Jacob. He didn't smell like Jacob. He just sounded like Jacob. So now it was his stranger. I said, who's that? If not, Isaac would have said, hey, your brother has not received you. But so who is that? Because all he recognized was the voice. But the hand was the hand of Esau. And the blood had the scent of Esau. And the soup tasted like Esau soup. You say, what is going on? Like, Jacob for cooking. If Jacob was also cooking, he would have suspected something, but he didn't eat Jacob's food. So it was Esau's food that he ate. So he said, who's that? Yeah, who? But Esau knew. I said, I bless him and he shall be blessed. I mean, that one is sealed deal. There's no reversing it. I've been stamped up, like it's sealed upon him. You cannot reverse that one. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, bless me, even me also, my father. I said, bless me. He said, bless me, oh, bless me. And he said, thy brother came with subtlety and has taken away thy blessing. That's when Esau, that's when Isaac, when he realized what was happening, he said, and he said, thy brother came with subtlety and had taken away thy blessing. Because why? Because it was the voice. He said, he deceived me. It was the voice of Jacob. He came with subtlety and had said, that's the reason why we blame Jacob for this thing. Because Isaac said, thy brother came with subtlety and took it away. He didn't know it was Rebekah who planned. It was a Syrian strategy of deception that Rebekah deployed. Because Laban also deployed the same thing against Jacob. The same person involved in the two scandals of deception. Rebecca, she planned it. Dress and act like your so and so. Went to his uncle's house, Laban. Laban did the exact same thing that the mother did. Leah, dress and act like she was Rachel. Deceived Jacob, and then married Leah instead of Rachel. Had to work again another 7 years to marry Rachel. I said, oh, that must have been a Syrian thing, a Syrian strategy of deception, masquerade as someone else. Because they were from Syria. And he said, thy brother came with subtlety and had taken away thy blessing. And he said, is not he rightly named Jacob? For he had supplanted me these two. He has not even this name Jacob, for he has supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he had taken away my blessing. And he said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? Hast thou not reserved even one blessing for me? Just one. And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants. And with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my sons? I have made him your Lord. What can I do now? I've sealed it. I received the lightning bolt from heaven, and I passed it on. He is the one that collected the lightning bolt that belonged to you. The throne of heaven, the throne of God, released it, and I released it to him because I couldn't see. He collected it. I can't take it back from him. And he said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. I'm sure Jacob from his tent could hear Esau weeping and like, oh, what's going to be the consequences of this now? The mother too could hear, but the mother's like, yes, that's what he gets for all these nightclub women he married and brought into our family and made a living hell for us. Now, Rebecca won't feel any remorse for him, but Jacob would have to, oh, it's right. I got his birthright, but now taking on account of not taking his blessing. What's going to happen now? What's the consequence? We hear because cut out loud. Everybody, even the servants, washing dishes. Like, what's going to happen now? What's going to happen? What's going on? What's going to happen? So because of his cry, the father had to respond. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. He was weeping out loud. Because he been cheated twice, he been duped twice by the same person. What did he do? Why this guy keep doing this thing to me? Why? What did I do? And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and the dew of heaven from above. This is why I got confused. I said, wait a minute. Didn't you just say that you blessed Jacob with Esau's blessing and you can't remove it? Now you're blessing him, giving him the same blessing. Are you making this up? Are you now what's going on? You're giving the same blessing again. And the Lord opened my eyes to see what was happening. Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and the dew of heaven. Show me something. In the case of Jacob, it was the dew of heaven, the fatness of the earth. In the case of Esau, it was the fatness of the earth and dew of heaven. Switching of the hand. It was in reverse. What does that mean? We'll find out in the next verse. Isaac answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. With Jacob, this is what he said. Therefore God give thee of the dew of heaven first, and the fatness of the earth second. But with Esau, he said, and Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth first, and the dew of heaven second. Reverse. Why? Verse 40. And by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And I'll show me what was happening. Jacob was telling him, okay, you will receive the same thing that Isaac was telling Esau that you will receive the same thing that Jacob received. But with Jacob, he will receive it freely. But you will have to fight for it. Hi! So Jacob has collected it. His own will come with ease, without fighting, without struggle. But your own, you have to fight for it. Whatever is received, okay, you're going to receive it, but you're going to have to fight for it. Because with Jacob was dew of heaven, the fatness of the earth. So his own battle will take place in the heaven. The angels will fight for him. That's why you see all the activities of angels around Jacob. It was packaged in the blessing. The angels will fight for him, and then he will receive it from the earth. But for Esau, he will have to fight for him on the earth. Then he will receive the approval of heaven. After he has fought and collected the heaven, now say, okay, all right, now I approve of it. But for Jacob, the heaven will fight his battle, and he just receive the benefit on the earth. So the opposite. Because when I read this, somebody said, you're telling him the same thing you told Jacob. What is this? What's going on? Are you confused? I thought that was it crying for? You just made the same statement you made to Jacob. What's going on here? There's nothing missing. There's no blank in the equation. Oh, show me. It's the reverse. It flips over. What does that mean? Follow mine. So by the sword. Say, oh. That's why when Jacob met Esau in the future, Esau had 400 men. Why? Because that's what it would take for him to receive his blessing. He had to fight. What was it? In Genesis chapter 32, verse 6. 32, verse 6. And the messengers returned to Jacob, saying, We came to thy brother, and also he cometh to meet thee, and 400 men with him. That's what it was going to take for him to receive the fatness of the earth and the dew of heaven. He was living by the sword. He now had an army to fight for it and protect it. But Jacob, his was supernatural. He would receive things supernaturally. When he was in the house of Laban, Laban gave him his few small flock. His own multiplied to surpass Laban, to the extent that Laban and his sons, they became jealous and envious of him because they saw that God was with him and blessing him and all that stuff. So, just give me a few fought and his own had multiplied. Why? Because his own battle, Jacob's battle, was being fought in the heavens and he was just receiving the benefits on the earth. You see the difference between Esau and Jacob? Esau needed 400 men to protect him. Jacob, on the other hand, but Genesis chapter 35, verse 5, it says, and they journeyed, and the terror of God was upon the cities that were around about them, and they did not pursue after the sons of Jacob. He was receiving supernatural protection, whereas Esau had to acquire physical protection. Jacob is on supernatural. The angels around him, the heavens, compassed about him, all packaged in the blessing that was released. That lightning bolt of blessing that Isaac released unto him. Esau, on the other hand, he was going to get what Jacob received, but him, he had to fight for it. That's the difference. What have I got? And by the sword shalt thou live, and shall serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke off thy neck. And I was curious about it because he was speaking into the future to their descendants. I want to go and look at the history. The Edomites found out it was King Saul of Israel that defeated them. Then but he made them servants. But King David conquered them and brought them under subjection. And it wasn't until the reign of King Solomon that they broke away, but it was back and forth throughout the times of the reign of Israel's kings. It was back and forth. Israel conquered Edom. Edom never conquered Israel. Israel remained stronger than Edom. Why? Because of the blessing that was released here. Edom was never strong enough to conquer Israel, but Israel conquer. It was back and forth. Israel conquered and then break away, then conquer them again and then break away. One particular king, Ahaziah or Amaziah. He had 10,000 men of the Edomites thrown off a rocky cliff to their death. They fell, broke to pieces and all that stuff. The Bible says they dealt with them cruelly. You wonder, are these people actually related? The way this, because Israel had this bout of wicked kings. They had more wicked kings than good kings. Most of these kings were actually wicked. One of the ways of the wicked king, he demonstrated his wickedness to the Edomites. That the 10,000 men were thrown off a rocky cliff to their death. Imagine seeing 10,000 people falling to their death at the bottom of a rocky cliff. 10,000. And these are people who are related to them. Man, Israel had this bout of wicked kings. Yeah. And by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke of thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. So when he heard that blessing, he hated Jacob. Burning with hatred, burning with anger. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. And these words of Esau, her elder son, were told to Rebekah. They didn't know servants were around listening. They went, this is what he said. And she sent and called Jacob, her youngest son, and said unto him, behold, thy brother Esau, as touching thee, doth comfort himself, purposing to kill thee. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice, and arise, flee down to Laban my brother, to Haran, and tarry with him a few days until thy brothers should return away. Just say, go there for a while till things cool down, then you can come back. Just go for a while, until he has relaxed. Until thy brother's anger turn away from thee, and they forget that which thou hast done to him. Then I will send and fetch thee from thence. Why should I be deprived also of you both in one day? I said, what do you mean by deprived of you both in one day? Or perhaps Esau had found out that it was his mother that orchestrated this thing. So he wasn't too pleased about his mother in the first place. He was concerned about his father. So now he might have rejected his mother. Now, I don't even want to talk to him. I don't want to deal with her any longer. don't you both on the same day? And Rebekah said unto Isaac, I am weary of my life because of the daughters of earth. So before Isaac can even say, why did you do this? She's giving him the answer to the question he's yet to ask. Before he could even ask, woman, why did you do this thing? She started giving him the answer before he could ask the question. And Rebekah said to Isaac, I am weary of my life because of the daughters of earth. If Jacob take a wife of the daughters of earth, such as these which are of the daughters of the land, earth being Noah's great grandson, it was Noah, Ham, Canaan, and then earth. So those were the descendants of earth that the nightclub women that Esau had married. If Jacob take a wife of the daughters of earth, such as these which are of the daughters of the land, what good shall my life do me? He said, she's weary to the point that she even wants to die. So now Isaac takes matters into his hands. Seeing what had transpired and why it had transpired, now Isaac responds, Genesis chapter 28. And time is come. Okay, now that's why I'm going to conclude. The blessing that Isaac unloaded upon Jacob here, that has been hidden. They make noise about this one in chapter 27, but the real thing was hidden here in chapter 28. To the extent that when Esau heard it, Esau himself changed. And Isaac called Jacob and blessed him and charged him to bless him again. Didn't criticize him for what he had done, because now he knew it was the wife who orchestrated it and why the wife orchestrated it. And Isaac didn't challenge it. Isaac called Jacob and blessed him and charged him and said unto him, Thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan. Arise, go to Padanaram, to the house of Bethuel, thy mother's father, and take thee a wife from thence of the daughters of Laban, thy mother's brother. And God Almighty bless thee, and make thee fruitful, and multiply thee, and thou mayest be a multitude of people. Now it connects, this blessing now connects to Adam, because the first time we heard about being fruitful and multiply was when God, the first command God gave mankind, be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, subdue, have dominion. So now he's connecting Jacob. This is another blessing that is connecting all the way down to Adam, the beginning. When man was in the garden, when man was in paradise. And give thee the blessing of Abraham, from Adam now connecting to Abraham. Give thee the blessing of Abraham to thee and to thy seed. Now he now brings in the Messiah. From Adam to Abraham, the seed that was mentioned in the garden, mentioned to Abraham, now is being mentioned to Jacob. Now passing on the line, the messianic lineage onto Jacob. That was not in the package of the previous blessing. That was just for the firstborn. Now it's passing on this the salvation package. It passed it on through Jacob. And give thee the blessing of Abraham to thee and to thy seed with thee, and thou mayest inherit the land wherein thou art a stranger, which God gave unto Abraham. And Isaac sent away and he might inherit the land. Now this Israel, the land that they possessed, the land that became Israel, it was now packaged onto Jacob. It wasn't in the blessing concerning the firstborn, which Esau was crying for. This was something different. My God, okay. And give thee the blessing of Abraham to thee and to thy seed with thee. Seed, singular, not plural. That's what was mentioned to Abraham. Thy seed, singular. That's what was mentioned in the garden. Seed, the seed of the woman, singular. That was the Messiah. The seed. Whenever it said seed, it was the Messiah. The salvation package was passing through Jacob. And Isaac sent away Jacob, and he went to Padan-aram unto Laban, son of Bethuel, the Syrian, the brother of Rebekah, Jacob's and Esau's mother. When Esau saw that Isaac had blessed Jacob and sent him away to Padan-aram to take him a wife from thence, and that as he blessed him, he gave him a charge, saying, Thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan. And Jacob obeyed his father and his mother and was gone to Padan-aram, which means Esau did not obey his father and his mother. And Jacob obeyed his father. That was the key. Why God chose Jacob, because he was an obedient child. And Esau, seeing that the daughters of Canaan displeased not Isaac his father. Finally, he realized the errors of his ways, that his wives displeased even his father. And Esau, seeing that the daughters of Canaan pleased not Isaac, he didn't include Rebekah. He didn't care about his mother. It was the father. The father wasn't saying anything because he was enjoying his venison. But now that he realized, oh, so it also displeased him. It was not just the mother. The mother's complaining, whining, I don't want to hear anything. It also displeased the father. But it was venison that silenced him. What did he do next? The man repented. Then went Esau unto Ishmael and took unto the wives which he had, Mahalat, the daughter of Ishmael, Abraham's son, the sister of Naboth, to be his wife. And it says, and Jacob went out from Beersheba and went towards Haran. And with that, I conclude the story of Esau and Jacob, and I'm out of time. Oh, great God, Almighty King Jehovah, I thank you, I bless you, I praise your holy name. I pray that these words shall find a worthy heart, be planted as seed, will bring forth fruit, and the fruit shall remain. In the mighty name of Jesus Christ, I pray. And as the heavens agree, I say, Amen. I love you. Lord Jesus loves you. I'll see you next week.